Oops. Am I still streaming? Oh. Really? We're gonna do me like that? Fine, I'll just do this. Mhm. Kalimba, full of blood. Hey yo, Dusty Dog in the YouTube chat. This time I've got everything set up. What? You're not gonna believe what I've done. I've done some very, very silly type stuff. Some extremely silly things. I can see my YouTube chat today, which is quite nice. It's over there. I should also do my Twitch chat, actually. Woohoo! Okay, so we are going to go back to window mode. We have undo dev there. Okay, we are all set up. We are underway on some really interesting. Let's make sure my vocals are good. Sound is decent. We're really deep in it. We are making a friend Kino game, not a friend slop, but a friend Kino, as they say. And we have a system by which we can do anything. We can do any type of network setup. For instance, would you like a dedicated server? One that even has a little server cam in there with physics bodies, of course. And we've got even tooltips on these. And of course, this works on eNet. Quick exit. And then what if I said we can remove these feature tags from our debug instances? Do the same demo, except create a lobby, connect, create, connect, join, connect, join. WebRTC, boom. So we've gone from a server authoritative model to a peer model. Let's get this guy out of the water. And what is amazing is that these are rocks that work the same way physics bodies, and I just tested this with a little latency. And those rocks are server authoritative normally. All these are, and ownership and stuff is normally server, which is peer ID 1, and we track that on the server. We track who is picking this up on the server, but in WebRTC land, there is no server, so we set multiplayer authority on this rock. It's mine. I'm the one responsible for multiplayer synchronizer in this case. So we've got like a little mushroom game going. Got Ragdoll. And we got animation player hooked up to RPCs and everything. So now, how on earth does that work? Well, we have a pickup. Interactable pickup has a condition here. When we interact with something, we're on our peer side. We interact with a rock. We have a rock in front of us. We call interact on it. And we go, if your peer is multiplayer peer, WebRTC multiplayer peer, send it to everyone. If it is RPC ID, if you're in a ENET multiplayer, that would be the only other one we have, right? ENET multiplayer peer. Yeah. We send it to the server. And so if you request pickup in your own ID, if no one is holding it, we say the new owner is the remote sender. And only the owner can drop it, reset it to 0. And so we use a setter to do everything. This never happens. The server always owns this item if we are an ENET. And in the physics process, it's pretty simple. We say, get the player, the owner player, and their transform basis, and we put it right in front of them, and then we get the origin and the pickup location, and we just lerp over to it linear, and we lerp the velocity towards it to pick it up. And throw is similar, also an RPC. The key here, though, is that I tend to, I've circled back around to players just own themselves. And of course, I could do an input node here. And then just have this be 1. If I wanted to really, really do the server authoritative. So. And then the other crazy thing is that I extended netflux to let's see. Oh, I can pull this up on my I need to turn this music off. Where is it? There's no way I can't find this. There it is. We're done with music for now. Maybe really, really soft. So that's life. Got one little error from picking up an object. Yeah, so while it's not a simultaneous level, it is a single level. It has a multimodality in terms of what uh, multiplayer peer you can choose, which is pretty cool. And then I also have this no hub sessions thing. So you might have seen this in the no hub discussion, but I'm going to use no hub for a WebRTC signaling server. It's very, very close. So all the peers are in the lobby. So we're starting with those peers. And now this peer is going to leave. And there's only 2 peers left now that I start. And so if this peer leaves, and then I start one more time, I do 1 peer, obviously. Yeah, haven't touched no hub myself. That and no rare black boxes. Yeah, no hub was tough to get accustomed to, but there's a lot of really nice things about it. It also runs really, really fast, and it's just nice because, like, here's the no hub. If I just go run dev, boom, it's up. That was very, very fast. And so you can see we have 3 games in here, and I add my game friend gem. But yeah, I attached sessions to lobbies, and then I never, you know, I don't know how your experience with No Ray has been, but it is a relay. Like, I don't know, some very significant portion of the time, maybe like, I don't know, 50% of the time, 80% of the time, it's just a relay. And to me, I wasn't like happy with that for traffic. I think it's fine. Um, and I'm actually not all that certain that WebRTC is much better. I hear there are some limits. I haven't hit them, but a P2P, like a true P2P connection, like no middleman, seems like a good thing to do. That's why I enjoyed all these WebRTC prototypes. That I don't think I'm the only one doing it. I'm one of the few that's doing it in Godot, though. A lot of web, obviously, like browser-based projects are doing it, but it doesn't have to be browser-based. That's a good point. Like, the ultimate goal is to like have it on Steam, anything on Steam, and that $100 barrier has been I think it's just $100, like, to get started on Steam and set up the Steam extensions and Steam lobbies and do everything that way. I've almost like gotten to that point where like I feel like I'm ready to do the Steam thing. It is probably easier than what I do to avoid Steam, which is like just how things work, where my curiosities were never like Steam, even though it's probably right. You don't even need the $100. API is free on the to dev on. Wow, very low barrier to entry. You just need like 2 things with a Steam running, I believe. Like, you can't like test on the same box. Full server lobby access, just use game ID 480. Wild. Okay, that's good information, because like whenever there are questions about the Steam extensions or Steam, I'm just like, I don't know. I've never done anything with it. I do weird shit. So like, yeah, at this point it's probably better for me just to get, especially since I'm like I'm now feel like I'm ready. Like, I understand like how all these things like connect together in a pretty meaningful way in terms of RPCs, and it's taken years to get there, but Yeah, and then now I wonder, like, should I, if I'm intending to publish on Steam, I should probably just get that running early. But then again, if this project is still just a hobby project, it's probably better to just have an executable. Because what's cool is that, I can just open up a dist and, like, there's no sign in, there's nothing. It just hit this Mac or this Windows version. Just it's very lightweight. Goes on a Steam Deck. So we got one over there. Now I can just boot up any number of these, and now I'm in a lobby. Connect, join. So now everybody's in here. Yeah. I probably could have skipped a lot of I might not have learned enough. But it is also nice for web games. Another thing that I got into is game jams. And I could throw this asset in a game jam game and have, like, you don't need Steam or anything, or even the Steam lobby, its API leaves something to be desired. I see people have problems, like, I wonder how much. Yeah, I don't know. You're better off having knowledge of what you're doing. Yeah, flexibility. I don't know that there's much advantage to going as deep down the rabbit hole, but it definitely was, like, I'm interested. All of us in these communities are very interested in multiplayer shared experience games, and, like, there's a lot of fun to be had. Like, even, like, just like the communities themselves is, like, kind of a fun thing to be a part of socially. Because I work from home remotely, so I don't get out much. But yeah, I think my next step will be to, why not just add Steam? I've got two different ways of connecting. We could have this really lightweight one and then I could compare. I could have a place of comparison, and it could end up that. Uh-oh. Am I throwing any errors? Nope. I'm throwing lots of sound effects, that's for sure. So I've got, like, 4 computers running sound effects. Oh. Oh, there we go. There's a desync. Okay, see, there's a mushroom rolling around over there, and I can't see it. It's only on that guy's computer. This is the case that I wanted to test. So basically, I've got a rock right in front of me. What happens when I grab this rock? It teleports. And this guy, there's a mushroom down here. Okay, so let's see what happens if we can. That mushroom just warped over to me because I assumed authority over it. All right, this is where it's starting to break. This is good shit. This is where there's some defensive programming we can do to work around cases like this, where essentially nobody's the authority. Okay, so I'm pushing this rock. Yeah, the rock's like, it's like I'm the authority over things I pick up. What happens when we drop it? It's still my authority. I'm just not the pickupper. That's okay. As long as everyone's picked up something, you know. But this is where deterministic physics could be the ticket. Especially if my game is about, like, what if we pile, yeah, so That rock is here. Oh no, it's on the same place. I think as long as like everything has been picked up at least once. Yeah, that's probably it. So that thing just rolled all the way over here, so I can pick it up. And then when it rolls, it'll no longer get lost. So these objects are spawned in because just like they're in the world. Their ownership is nothing because they don't use a multiplayer spawner. They're just in the world. So yeah, that's it. Every object must be owned by someone at start. That's really important finding here. I think I can prevent this entire class of bugs just by having an owner. It doesn't have to be a specific person, but look how like now we're in a state where everybody. All right, let's check the network tab too. How many objects here do we got? What debugger? Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Network. All right. So we're at mushroom, rock, person. Up, down. It's not that crazy, is it? Yeah, and these would just be RPCs, so they don't even add anything. No noise there. Perfect. All right, I really like this test. This was a great test. I think I'm pretty satisfied. That network does not seem... I think if I multiply... I mean, well, my player one is almost as small as the... It's 3 times bigger than the rock one. Some of these players are... Is it like because I'm active? I wonder what's wrong with that player. Oh, dude, maybe I own more things. Let me see this thing. Okay. Oh, those are scene names. Of course. I own all these rocks, huh? What happens when I drop? Do I know what number I am? And then I have to be this rock. This person. All right, so now I should have 522. Yeah. It's the only one who's getting anything going. Oh, I don't have a network profile on. Duh, because I'm not even... I'm on a dist. I'm a distributed build. Fruit. Okay. Our frame rate's better now. Okay. Pretty cool. Gotta aim. Feels pretty good. Cool. It all worked better than expected, even. All right, so should I submit an issue to my own project? I don't know. Can you make a more detailed version of P2P WebTarTC project? You did the best, but it is a little too complicated. What part of it is complicated? I've had several people of it be able to set it up and use it. It's really stupid complicated, you're right. But I do provide the entire TypeScript backend for anyone on a server, so you don't even have to do that part. Just use my settings. I wonder, you know what I never did is I never uploaded a little image. So let's go do that now. Maybe I'd be too dumb. No, you're not too dumb. You just got to keep trying, because it's all of this stuff is very hard. Here is the project. It's like you might want to follow some other tutorials about networking as well. So you could search for battery acid dev, and you could do this getting started with Godot multiplayer. And once you understand everything that he's able to do, then you may be able to handle more of the WebRTC side, because you'll get into pieces like where I'm connecting all these signals, and you'll say, oh, I understand what that signal does, so I know how to set my game up. And if you look in world, I have multiplayer connected to server, multiplayer. That one doesn't even do anything. Look, it doesn't do anything. This one is very important. How did you learn? And if we say we want the cubes in the scene to be synchronized, how do we do it? How do we do it to be good? Great point. The way you do the cubes to be synchronized is you go to cube. I don't even know what is that, target? What did I call that? It's like a physics body thing. Asset. The fuck is it? I think this is the right place. You're going to add a multiplayer synchronizer to it and assign it to one player. What is that thing called? Am I going crazy? Oh, here they are, hittable box. Okay. So let's make all of these synced. Okay, here they are. I found a hittable box. Hello, hittable box. All right, you ready? We are going to simply add a multiplayer synchronizer. Here it is. Boom. All right. So who the fuck owns this? That's the question. What you need to do is, when a player comes in, we've got to assign it. We've got to assign it like this on enter tree. And we say if multiplayer authority, because it's always we say we get multiplayer authority equal 1, because it's always 1 to start. Then we want to set it like that. All right, let's try it out. How many do I got? I got 2. Okay. All right, let's see. So I know they did not sync before, so it's possible that they sync now. Nope. Oh, I didn't put anything in the synchronizer. Replication, add property, position, add property, rotation. There we go. There's no world yet, right? I don't really remember. I think we add world later, so this should work. Damn, it's going crazy. It doesn't like it. All right, what's wrong? Hittable box. I have a different map, perhaps? This is bad, so I'm going to solve this real quick. I promise you it's solvable. What if it's... I think it's this. Let's see what the multiplayer authority is. Let's do multiplayer synchronizer dot public visibility equal false for now and just have that off. It's 1. It's a lot of 1s. So it was 1. But the problem is that we need to tell everybody that it is ours rather than I'm trying to think who should own it by default. We need to say multiplayer peers, get peers. Like, I hope maybe they're all in the same. Let's say, how do I distinguish who gets it first? Like, who owns this thing? I can't. I need a good heuristic to decide who owns it first, because I can't just have like everyone assume control of it. No, I just need one person, but I need it to be the same person on every box. Yeah, it's a little tricky. So what we can do is say func. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's do on ready. So if multiplayer dot is multiplayer authority, and it's not equal to 1, so obviously we can't. We'll tell everybody else. Assume owner. Okay, let's do that. And this will be an RPC that any peer call local. I mean, you're on the right track, right? You're smart. You know what you're doing. So if we assume owner and then I pass it an ID, any peer call local reliable, sure. And we can say set multiplayer authority ID. I think this might be a step too crazy, but this, I just still need one person though to assume. And yeah, so I own it. I'm the one, but who? I can't have both players calling this. Get multiplayer and is multiplayer authority. So someone's gonna beat it to the punch. There's like a race condition here too. And the first person who loads in will just be the one to grab it, which isn't not what we want. What we could do is actually, we have something crazy. We have actually lobby system dot host is host or current. What's the host? How do we get the host? I'm sure we've got the host here somewhere. It might be just in the menu. So that's what we'll do. We'll just grab the host from the menu. Is there no first player? There should be a first player. There has to be a first player. We need, so this is a good lesson in networking. Everything must have an authority. Everything must have an authority. Host. How do you, what did I, and I'm sure I've got a host here somewhere. On the lobby. Current lobby. So I have the current lobby. Oh my god, did I get rid of it? I just need the current lobby, friends. Oh my gosh, I didn't add it here. All right, so we just need to. Okay. We're going to add it in the lobby system. And then we'll say signal create. We'll just say on create the create game when we create a game, okay? We send action host equal. There we go. That's simple. We've created a lobby. Oh, okay. That was silly stuff. So now I just need to on ready. Let's say lobby system. Yeah. Now we say assume owner. This is way too hard, right? Multiplayer unique ID. I could also say not equal to null, right? There. Lobby system host, I'm going to assume the owner. There we go. That's me. And fuck. This is way too hard. Let's see if it works. I have no idea. I'm in the weeds a little. I'm having fun. Okay, so the reason why this even happens, and you can avoid all this, oh, string. Yeah, we gotta int this real quick. No problem. I think we could also just multiplayer get unique ID there as well. But I'm kind of curious if this works, just how we have it. Non-existent int. Yeah, we've got to say we're the if we're the host. I didn't check if we're the host, but there we go. That should be true for anyone who just joins. I mean, for anyone who creates a lobby. Then they are the host. There we go. All right, come on, boxes. It's still really mad at me, but it's only mad at me on one of the clients. I've got a lot of debug errors here. It's still the same things, right? Oh, I didn't call this as an RPC. Woo, baby. There's a lot of mistakes you can make. This is how I developed this stuff. It's just kind of... Oh, I'm still not clean. Hmm. Why do we think this is? So if we want to add a multiplayer synchronizer, you can't easily. That's not true. That's not true. It's easy. Trust me. You just have to have somebody own it, and look at the multiplayer peer. There is a method here called create server, and I should just do this. Create server is equal to the eNet multiplayer version, and create client. You would create a server and create a client. I created a mesh because that's kind of how P2P works, is that you want a mesh so everyone's relaying their own packets. But you can create, you see, when creating the peer via create client or create server, relay will return true and you'll start relaying. That's going to be more lag. But I will get this updated for you, and might take me 2 or 3 more tries, but it's not as hard as I'm making it look. I trust me that it's not. I think we entered this tree, we get the multiplier. If it's authority, we can get rid of this. Thing is no. It's still very upset at me. Because... no, it didn't move. It's still very upset at me because of what reason? There's a couple different reasons why it could be like this. You went mesh network because you want to play on hard mode. It's not hard. I've worked on all these things enough to know that it's cool. All of my stuff is mesh networked. All my homies love mesh network. No, I'm just I'm not really, I didn't plan for this feature. Obviously I should have planned for the feature, but the way projectiles work and everything is I use basically custom spawn things, and these are just sitting in the world. So each one of these comes with the world, which I think is a mistake. If I added these via any method other than what I'm doing, it's not like I don't need this, right? It's not like that doesn't help. All right, let's just do some print set. And I know that this, I recently found out, and this is way too long ago, but I recently found out about print S. And space between. That's my ID. The node is missing. I think I know what's going on. My brain breaks in mesh networking edge cases. These two node trees are not the same. I'm playing on a map that's different from your map. So I have to rework this. Not completely, but the way that this is set up, my world is different than your world, perhaps. Maybe that's part of the problem, but we're going to figure this out because now I'm interested. Which chat is easier to read, Twitch or YouTube? I have them both up, and I do see your question in both of them, perhaps. I don't know. I'm not really doing a great job of keeping track of it, but I am thinking. So the mesh networking edge cases, I think this is like an interesting new thing that I didn't solve yet. But why? So I add this world here. This world is now different than any other world. That's really the problem. Because this world could, yeah, this is the problem right here. New game connection signal, create new peer connection. Client connection's finished. At only then at that point would we create a new world, right? I think this will break briefly. Yes, excellent. We emit. And we do not. Yeah, I have a little note here that says this is fragile. So when we have new players added, this should be fine. Fewer issues. Nice, perfect. Nothing happened. So you could also just like do an RPC on these things to move them, but oh, nice, nice. Okay. Let's see. There it goes. There's one moving. We did it. Okay, so the worlds weren't finished setting up. Okay, don't think about it too hard. That's why I'm here. It still doesn't work for that player, but that's okay. We'll fix it. But at least they're syncing over to another machine. Now we'll fix the rest. This is where we add in a sprinkle of oh wait. Where we just be like, everyone just hold up a sec, you know, before you get too crazy here. Just 1 second will do, okay? And we don't even need it here necessarily. We need it on the box. Let's assume owner 1 second, just 1 second after. You know, they can stay still. No one, you know, they really, I could do this extremely simply. I could say, anyone who hits this thing, get the person who hit me and assume owner then. That would actually be much more creative. That's much better. So we're gonna change it to that after. So anyone who hits me with a bullet, I am owned by that player. Until then, I'm not sending any updates. You know, until some force acts upon me. That's actually the most efficient thing to do. Right? Then at that point you call an RPC on it, and any RPC you call. Wait, where are these players? Where are they? Oh my gosh. They didn't even connect that time. Take care. Good night. Okay. It's cold. I'm not getting people. I'm not getting full connection here. Why is that? I see. Okay, so all of them player. Oh, these need to be connected before. Okay, that's it. Perfect. Okay. Um, these just need to live at the top level because, yeah, this is great. This is really good refactoring, guys, friends, everyone. So there we go. Let's pull that out. No multiplayer spawner. We go over into a lobby system. We just hook these up here, okay? Just boom. We could hit it, put it here, but I don't like that idea. I like them better here. This one right here. We're gonna fix all this. Right here, this. And now we go like this. This is useless. Boom. We say we don't even need this. We need to add ourselves. Just get rid of it. It's a new op there. So we are going to add player to game. In this right there, we add ourselves to game. With peer ID int. Create a mesh. We add ourselves. Okay, and now remove. And we clean this whole thing up. It's gone. The vestige of an older time. And then remove player from game should be here somewhere. You. Forgot about you. I did not forget you. And this way, perfect, has ID and get children. We say we don't, it doesn't matter where we put them. We're going to get nodes, get tree, get nodes and group, player, and then we are going to new player scene. We'll get that in here. Get tree, current scene. We can add these anywhere. Whatever, top level. We don't need them to be in a player container. All right. Yeah, let me just destroy player container. Player C new, player container, say get nodes group, same thing here. Find, go get a friend gem version of this. Scripts, I think network has this. Remove player from game. Let's just do this. Much better. And then for the let's even get this one, add player to game. Okay, so I like the random position there. Let's see if we can do that world. Yeah, perfect. That's this world right here, sure. Because I believe it's added at that level, and then I will check that in a sec. Uh, so we do need the player scene, which I'm not like really happy about. I'm pretty unhappy about that. Where on earth? World? That's right here. Kill this. This makes world kind of stupid. Maybe that's all right. Sure. Oh, that's how we do it. Nah. Think. Greetings from Brazil. Wow, very distant. Welcome. We are just doing a little refactoring of our multiplayer P2P prototype. It is very close to test, so we just need to figure out how we're adding these players to the world this way. This is the world. We say world. Boom. Then we have the same line here. I believe this is the exact same line. Oh, it's like, yeah, that's decent. Boom. All right. Boom. Let's try it out. So we have a prototype. We got mad at me. How the fuck are we adding a player to the game already? I didn't tell you to do that. Oh. No, we don't want to add ourselves here. Fuck. How do I do this? Um, when do we add ourselves? Does anyone know? Add player. Add player 1. That's not what we want. Uh-oh. I think it's in menu, lobby menu. I'm working on a Diablo / PoE prototype dark fantasy, kind of an ARPG. Real life is taking. Yes, it will always take your spare time. There's no way around it. And games is it's kind of a bad business right now. It's not easy to make a living making games, so I like to keep it as a hobby and I focus on my day job. Oh no, my chat is spiraling. Okay, there it goes. I'm trying to figure out how I add myself to this world. My job is a front end engineer for web properties. You're a graphic designer, huh? So I'm a software engineer full time. Luckily, the holidays, December is a little slower. Do you use Electron? No, I think Electron is very bloated. And I would actually use Godot to develop an app if I wanted to distribute an app like Electron. I think Godot's UI features are actually better than Electron and like TypeScript. Another alternative is Bun. I was just showing off. This is a Bun project. So I go Bun, run dev, boom, it's up. So TypeScript with Bun is very good, but I think Electron tends to be slow. You're more of a 3D artist. That's great. It's a really great skill. Yes, Godot and Blender are two of the best open source things around, right? I have no Blender skills, so you are very impressive if you have any Blender skills. I think it's a great app. It's very hard to I like to make 3D games. I wish I had that's what we'll do. Um Strange question, but what do you think about Linux, not for server side and user side? Um, I'll take any question. I really, really, really like anything that isn't Windows. So, fuck Windows. I'm done with it. Fuck Microsoft. They're garbage people, garbage software. So, I encourage you to use anything that isn't Windows. I think there's something wrong here. So, let's say get first node and group world. I don't know. It has to be there. It cannot not be there. Start. Still that there. Okay. So I typically use Mac, just because I think it is the best operating system. You dual boot Linux and Arch and yeah, Windows for kernel level, anti cheat, etc. Yes. A Windows machine is like just for gaming these days, isn't it? If you're productive in Linux, great. I tried a few of the Linux distros. I tried Pop OS. I tried Bazite, which is a gaming focused distro. They're just not good enough, unfortunately for me. Mac is great. I use something called Crossover to play. It's a wine distribution layer for Mac gaming. So I game on Mac if I can. Want to quit Windows now with 10 dying going to Linux finally. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's what it takes. I'm hoping that Windows sees all of their user base just evaporate because this is getting ridiculous, isn't it? Right? Um, it seems right to me. Let's try this one more time. Please. Fuck, why? What does the remote look like? Lobby. It's just not there. This never fires. That could be why. All right, let's go to the lobby system. We never emit the signal. Oh my gosh, this prototype is so fucking bad. Don't even look at all this code, please. Like I I tried. All right. Well, at least I can see the other guy, right? I think I saw him here, yeah. What is this? I can fix all of this, I know, but it's tough. We're gonna make improvements. It's full OS, full open source. Woohoo! Yeah, I mean, open source software is getting pretty good, right? It's so strange. Yeah, yeah. My name, I don't have the right person set. I'm not spawning the right people. They're both called Andrew. It's 10:30. Have a great stream. Yes, a little bit ahead. I'm tired too. I'm not gonna last much longer. These bugs are gonna put me to bed. That's how it goes. Command B, start the game, try the game. This is what we did. I've probably done this like 5,000 times. Keep up the good work, bro. Thank you. It's still a disaster. Oh, gosh. It's not getting their names. It's just saying Andrew, which is not the right name. And we have not hooked up the most essential thing, which is player spawning. We have not done it right. And in this case, we have add player to game. Oh my God. What is this? Okay, that's fine, right? Oh. So interesting to me. Hello, Ratchet Knight. How are you? We have a really fun little problem we're working on. It's called mesh networking synchronization. It's only fun for me, and it's not fun because this actually is killing me. Would you consider a talk on multiplayer for RVA game jams? Oh, I'm gonna laugh. Yeah, I could totally do that. Not a request, but have you considered it? I have. I was sitting there in the. I mean, looks like I'm not equipped to do it, but let me show you what I've got. And you know, it would be something I want to do. And I have like blog posts. I have drafts of like a talk. Like this is a blog post about dedicated servers that I did finish, but I have several others in my drafts that are about just general approaches. And that's what my talk would be about. And I have now added onto my knowledge so I could also speak to the Unity side of things. The Unreal side of things I cannot speak to, but I do know their general strategy. And I could probably learn enough to talk about it. But let me show you this really cool demo. So I'm making that friend gem game, and you'll notice I have dropped the menu system that I created onto the game friend gem. And when I create this lobby and join the lobby, look, I've got a new little image of the game we're going to play. And so I've got all three of these folks in here. And then I join this up. They're all ready to go. This guy's underwater. And when we pick up a rock, that rock gets owned by that player. He now is say, hey, that's my rock. I'm going to control it. And when he drops it, he still owns it, but he's not having it follow him. Then I can pick up the rock. If I start lagging out, that rock is going to lag out with me, and it's actually going to reproduce pretty accurately where it goes. So now what's interesting is that these ones spawned in, they don't have an owner right now. So there's potentially a mismatch on what could happen on this screen versus that screen. I noticed when these roll, you see how it rolled closer to the campfire, mine rolled over there. So there's all this synchronization there that's happening. Now, That's really cool, right? But this is even crazier. What I can do is I can go into my debug and I can go server on one of these and then join, and I can force these all to be in a dedicated server setup. And the dedicated server even has like a little camera that shows where everybody's going on the server. So it's like a Smash Brothers camera. So it kind of follows people around and kind of keeps them in frame. And now the server owns all the rocks. And so when I kick stuff, only the server is going to be updating their position so it's accurate. Very interesting. Completely different paradigm. I had a mesh networking setup with 3 peers, all sharing responsibility of actions. And then I have basically this switch condition that changes the mode in which we call things. Whenever I interact with something, I get the class. If we're in a mesh configuration, I'm going to tell everybody. If I'm in a dedicated server configuration, I will only tell the server. So that's like taken me, I don't know, years to get to this point where I'm confident enough to be able to swap implementations on the fly. But all of this is to say multiplayer boils down to maintaining a shared experience across multiple machines, right? Oh, forgot one mode. We can go down to one instance, not 11, and go offline. And we can just swap in the offline multiplayer peer. Boom. And we can throw a player on there. Everything works as expected, completely offline by myself. I could even like drop this offline peer and upgrade this to a mesh or a server connection, and I could do a server player. I could like piece this apart any which way that works. So is this a marketable skill? Because I gotta have a job doing this stuff. I gotta get a game dev job eventually. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. None of this is on GitHub. This prototype's not on GitHub. I've got to go back to the other one and fix this thing because it's bugging me. But what I could do for a talk is say like, hey, you want to add multiplayer? Here's like 3 quick tips, or what to know before you try, or I thought multiplayer was out of reach, but it's really not. Or another pitch is like, games with friends are good games, games with friends are with good games. And I think that's where I started my game dev thing, because I like to play with my friends. I can't work at a big studio because no big studios do Godot. And at this point, I'm not really. I don't know. I don't think I'd do anything for a big studio. I've got the big studio job in my day job, like big enough companies. That's not where I want to be. I want to be with like a indie. But I get the sentiment. Let's think here. Thank you. Have a good one. I'm talking to YouTube as well. I will fix this, and it will be good. But for now, it is not fixed. And that is troubling me. We'll try it this way. We'll try it the exact way I have it in the other prototype. As demonstrated, that one already works. Here we are. And then I will jump over here. This still gates that. This happens here. And then we pull. That's a nice benefit, is to be able to pull this preload over to the other scene. I'm going to reach out to Val with the offer to do a multiplayer primer. Let me get a little pitch deck together, though. I don't think this is going to change anything because we didn't fix anything. Yeah, didn't fix anything. Right here. It's very early, but that's fine because that's where ours is. It is where ours is, correct? It is. And they're identical. We better not have another one. Nope. It's perfect. And we call this for sure because there's no other peers. Just, I don't get it. All these prototypes are so related. Okay, that's better. Perfect. Okay. I should be able to see that player over there, and they should have the right name. They do. Perfect. Okay, improvements. Definitely big improvements. Okay. Next step. You. It's that simple, everybody. Anyone who hits this shall now and forevermore be its owner. Okay? I don't care which of you does it. Boom. Headshot. Now, what did we do? All we did was now the funny part is that no one owns this box right here, so it can change how it does physics, but as soon as someone hits it with a gun, it warps to the right place. That's fine. Okay, that's fine, because people love to shoot these. They don't always knock them with their bodies. I could always like do the closest player, whoever, whatever. And here's the thing. We only do this once. But I need to process if anyone drops. We'll do it all the time, whatever. I'm going to look at the diff here. And then perfect. Excellent. Flawless. Supreme. Incredible. Better. Let's go back here and say, um, all right. Well done, everyone. Well done. Do I have to publish? Here, we'll publish this if we haven't published this in a long time. So, web. What is this? Yeah, okay, that's fine. Bundle. Butler. Now we need to push the right thing. Don't mess it up. There it is. Oh my gosh, it's so cold. I don't have the heat on in my house because of really dumb reasons. Mm-hmm. Mm. All right, let's do a new doc. No heat. You are crazy. Yeah, I'm insane. I'm also in Northern Virginia where it's like 20% colder here. Let's see. Weather, Fairfax, VA. It's 30 fucking 8. Are you kidding me? It's gonna go down to 30 tonight, and it is like probably 50 degrees in this house. I am. This is what we're gonna do. We'll get the meme on. We'll get the heated blanket. Got cords all tangled up. Help. All right, heated blanket, go. Oh. All right, we're good. I don't like to use this thing because it dehydrates me. I have a multitude of problems tonight, but this is entertainment. Where was I? Is this my only Firefox? No, it's like the least important Firefox, but it's stuck here. Let's do this. Okay. RVA, jams, talk planning. You know what's funny is like someone could be in Discord. No one got in Discord. Okay, that's good. I didn't check RVA jams. What else? What were the other titles? I had like 5 titles, and now I can't remember any of them. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense now. I don't like that one. I always say that though. What are we thinking? Multiplayer. Fuck, I can't remember any of my titles now. I lost the juice. I'm giving up. I had like quick tips. Multiplayer. all about multiplayer. Um, I'm sure there's some other talks. I mean, uh, slop. How to make multiplayer games. They're not hard. Sure they are. Multiplayer practice. I should probably watch this. How to choose your multiplayer backend. I remember this one. Um, Spacetime DB. I have a book called Good Multiplayer Game Programming. That was good. Multiplayer. I said good too many times. Multiplayer game programming. Oh boy. O'Reilly, baby. Let's go. Let me bust out the work laptop, see if the shit's on there. We've got a work laptop is it's good for something, right? It's good for free O'Reilly. I have not. I have read many O'Reilly books over my years. My favorite, I don't know if it's O'Reilly, but designing data intensive applications. This is my favorite. I think it's on O'Reilly. Yeah, it's kind of a meme, but it's my favorite. It's very good. It's like it's so good. It's so timeless too. It's just like resilient applications. Really builds up well. What am I doing? Am I not? My hands are so cold I cannot type my password for my work computer. What do they do C++ in here? Or? God damn it, is there no heat on this thing? Oh my god. Set to 0. I promise you, work computer, I'm signing in to work. I promise I am not going to just simply check O'Reilly for this book and then read this book during work hours. I promise I'm Uh, only educational. This would be great if this is in here because I would totally do that. We've got okay, O'Reilly, effective Go programming with AI. Nope, nope. We are going multi game programming. Hell yeah. Oh baby, 12-hour completion, 384 pages. Start that. I know what I'm doing. Give me the dark mode. Oh, it's so nice. Hell yeah. Streams reference to compression, the internet. I do not know about Berkeley sockets. It sounds like a very low level or not in use, but I know UDP and TCP. Blocking and non blocking IO. No, I don't want to multi-thread. I'm just kidding. I don't mind. Object serialization. This stuff is probably all under the hood of Godot engine, right? All the networking primitives, and I just have this very nice abstraction layer on top of it. Did you know that you can do packed byte arrays in Godot, and you can pack those bytes extremely efficiently before you send them off, and you can negotiate a whole series of booleans from a bool that takes 8 bits to a bool that takes 2. And then you can pack them all together and be like, here's all your packed byte arrays. Yes, I'm sure the lowest level stuff isn't relevant anymore. That's where you're wrong because it pops up, especially during optimization, like with this packed byte array stuff, right? Like I have no computer science background, which is my major weakness. It's like my thing. I'm an art major. So when we run into problems with physics and math, and then sometimes with these low-level encodings, I don't have any frame of reference, except at least I learned a little bit of Rust-lang to teach me memory management. But I really should have learned C++ in hindsight. Maybe I should still do that, or C. I don't want to do C sharp. C sharp has garbage collection, right? But I mean, it's all relevant to a degree, like even down to like the physics of. Um, but no, not for my talk. My talk is gonna be the highest level. Um, there's like community multiplayer. This netcode for game objects I've heard is not great. Authority. I really do like their article on Authority, but I can never fucking find it because they butchered their docs recently. There it is. Fuck, I'm gonna just bookmark this. This is a great introduction, and I'll probably use this if I give a talk. Multiplayer games are played between many different game instances. Each game instance has their own copy of the game world and behaviors within that game world. To have a shared game experience, each networked object is required to have an authority. The authority of a networked object has ultimate power to make definitive decisions about this object. Each object must have one and only one authority. This authority has the final control over state and behavior. If I had read this like years ago or something when I started Godot, I would have been a lot better off. Perfect. I mean, I just stop there. Just the rest of this is actually pretty bad. This is very bad. I think they did move away from networking netcode for game objects. And the most popular stuff is like third party, right? So like a lot of the Unity ecosystem, the power is in the asset store. There's one that's really popular. I was learning a lot about was the quantum photon quantum. This is not the right one, but photon fusion. And then there's a classic one, pun, that came before, which was Unity photon Unity networking. So this is very popular. I'd probably talk about this because Peak was made in this, which is very, very popular. If you've heard of Peak, Repo was made in this. They should do even better. They don't have to advertise, but I think they should probably put those up there because those are two of the biggest games. They use Fusion. And then a couple of very niche games use Quantum. And this is the only 100% deterministic multiplayer game engine on the market. Yeah, maybe, maybe not, but fighting games love this. Very few. This is free to a point and paid after. I believe. I think you actually have to pay $200 to start with that. But good enough for it's good for indies. Pricing. Let's see pricing. Yeah, $100 per month. One time for 12 months. That's pretty cheap. 100 CCU. If I was on Unity, I would definitely be using this stuff. All right, I think I'm gonna wrap up early tonight and go do important work. They have their own Unity hosting service. Oh, Unity has one now. Multiplayer hosting. Multiplayer related distributed to Unity games. So they have these that I wasn't familiar like. I'm actually not convinced of this at all. Distributed authority. None of these give me much. I'd have to, let's see, these Unity netcode stuff. This is one of my first like dives into this. So I'm gonna wrap up. This was a great thing. Expect me to hit you with some talk titles, and feel free to send me resources if you have a couple on Discord. Just send those along, and I can. I'm gonna read that book as well. It's gonna be great. Thank you for the recommendation on this one, and we'll talk to you later. Thank you. Good night.